Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, there has been some new additions here to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these bad boys then, shan't we? Now, I think we've had one. I saw Tortigrimmer playing the other night a semi-Dreadnought scenario, which looked really interesting, actually. And to be honest, I was watching this and I'm thinking, okay, let's see what we can do here. I think Tortigrimmer went with the more funds option now. That is a tempting option there, as you do gain quite a considerable increase of funds there. Now we do have gun and fire control. I can see that really does dramatically reduce the actual aiming. Well, the aiming speed is dramatically increased, the accuracy is increased, the gun long range accuracy is increased. We can see the penalties are reduced there. We do have superior big gun and small gun technologies as well as controlled stations, which is quite interesting. We do also have the optimized maneuverability, which is quite good. Now, what I want to point out here is you see the armor quality there, we do have superior technology. So I think I might go for the optimized maneuverability option. We don't gain any additional monetary increases there, but we do gain armor quality, armor forging, hull strengthening, engines, boilers, and special machinery. It does unlock 5 components. This option unlocks 2 components, and this option unlocks no additional components. So I think I'm going to go with the optimized maneuverability, actually. I do like this with the bonuses. It's really, it just makes something different, actually. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. The SMS Wundertan was the first battlecruiser of the Imperial German Navy and Germany's first major turbine-powered warship. At the time of her construction, she was the fastest Dreadnought-type ship, able to reach 27 knots, which is actually quite considerable speed there, really, isn't it? Okay, so we do have the battleship hull, and we also have the armoured cruiser hull. Let's see. Now we're currently looking at 14,500 tons and 15,000 tons there. Of course, we could increase that as we need to, which is quite interesting. It might be, I mean, we are going to go up against a semi-dreadnought as well as some cruisers. So it might be worthwhile actually bearing in mind that we might want a second ship, but we'll see what we can come up with here. And we're going to be playing as the US Navy here, which is quite cool. So let's take a look. How does this bad boy actually change then? So there is a magic point at which the hull actually does lengthen, which is about 15,400 tons. We can see that the hull lengthens there. Yeah. Quite nicely so. We gain a 4th placement. And you can see this extends as well. Now, if we increase the size of about 17,000 tons, you don't really gain any additional hull lengthening. So that's kind of like the sweet spot there. Or was it 15? Yeah, 15,400 tons is really the sweet spot there, where you gain that additional length without really the additional cost or displacement, I suppose you could say. Okay. So do have multiple expansion steam engine. So you can see that does increase the actual cost of the engine there. Fairly heftily so. But you can see that it actually reduces the weight of the engine. The engine is a little bit more sturdy. Yeah. Able to take additional hits there. We do have semi-oil, which is very nice there. You can see fuel cost is increased, but you can see we have more floatability, and ideally we'll be able to drop weight. Let's see, how did that affect our weight? Yeah, you can see that we dropped a considerable amount of weight there. We do have the natural draft boilers, and we also do have the induced draft boilers. We do gain funnel capacity. If we take a look down here then, let's see, statistics. It's down here somewhere. Engine efficiency. Obviously we'll be able to improve that when we actually put some funnels on there. We'll go ahead and do that then. We'll start by placing the main tower as well. So do have the front tower, which is 700 tons and 600 tons there. Now we are going to need these. It does slightly increase our target signature, but not dramatically so. So we'll put the front tower on there, and let's see, 700, that's actually very weighty. Yeah, that's the same weight. Is it in effect the same? It looks to be the same tower. Which is not a bad idea, actually, then. At least we do benefit from having that accuracy. And the towers are very important. We are going to have to take a look at actually armoring them properly as well. So we have funnel capacity there. Right, 200 tons there, 230 tons there. Smoke interference is something that we do have to take into consideration. I'm going to be looking at the cost there. You can see that we have 230 tons there for the medium funnel, but the cost is pretty much double that. And there's not a dramatically increased amount of funnel capacity there. So let's see, a large funnel there. We might be looking at that. 280 tons there. The cost, though, yeah, it is pretty substantial. So we can see our engine efficiency there. So we'll stay with a third funnel for the time being. Sometimes it is good to actually have a backup just in case. Now, if we take a look at the actual guns then, I mean, what we can do here then is reduce the range. I mean, this is something that's obviously going to be altered in the proper game. So this kind of game where you can just reduce this down and it doesn't particularly make that much of a difference. I think we'll aim for about 18 knots. I've only just noticed that's where the FPS is there. I've never noticed that before. Right then. Yeah, we do have access to some really good armor here. Krupp armor for the newest type. Krupp armor is lighter, stronger, and cost effective. Yeah, we can see how that's dramatically reduced the weight there. We do have access to a rangefinder. That's really good, actually. Okay, the California class. Enhanced reload, and we'll take a look at that. I mean, it gives us a 10% increased reload, but yeah, it doesn't really look worthwhile. That increases the weight of the guns, but it does increase the traverse rate. That one, not as much, and we do have a greater advantage. So I'm going to go with the electrical traverse. That does make sense. I have changed things here just so we can actually see the millimeter. I think it'd be nice. It gives us a general idea, but I might go back to the inches if you people would like that actually. Radar would have been nice, but we do not have that. Okay, so this obviously would be for torpedo protection. Yeah, it just gives us increased resistance. We do have the barbettes over here, which obviously do reduce the chance of ammo detonation, which is something that we seriously have to take into consideration. Reinforced bulkheads is not a bad idea. You could see it doesn't increase the weight there dramatically. Anti-flooding compartments, again not dramatically. A citadel, not dramatically, but they do improve the survivability of the ship. So let's take a look at what we have here then. Yeah, I might have to go back to the inches just because I'm looking at these guns thinking, you know, I actually can't remember what size they are. Let's see, can I change that again? Yeah, we'll go with that. It's nice, but I'm just too used to inches now. So we do have the 13-inch guns. But it's nice to be able to have that option there to change it back and forth. 12-inch guns. Mark II guns there. Never realized there was actually a different model of gun. So I do wonder if you actually went with the gun technology bonus. Would you have Mark III guns, perhaps? Okay. Shell weight there. I mean, the actual weight of the shell is something to take into consideration as well. Muzzle velocity is not a bad thing. And we can see that we do have a higher muzzle velocity, but it's not tremendously so, but it is something to take into consideration. I think what we need to do then is, let's see, long range accuracy there. That's good. We do have pretty good technologies helping us out there. Let's see, so we can only have PS2 main guns. It might be, I mean, if we take a look over here then, I'm tempted to go with maybe, well, I can't fit a dual, and I can't fit a single 13. It might be the 12-inch guns, and even the 12-inch guns do not appear to be able to be fitted, I should say. So it looks like we could fit the 13-inch guns on the rear. Yeah, so they could be fitted on the rear of the actual ship here. But then it's one of those of, I think you do receive a penalty for having different guns of different caliber, as like maybe armament or something of that nature. I'm sure I've seen something like that. Let's see. Now, 11-inch guns, they would fit here on the front, so I think we'll go for that. Does make sense. We can see the weight offset is something that we'll have to try to address there. So we're not really going to have that much in the way of firepower per se. Now, what can we fit on the side here? They're too large. 7-inch, too large. Looks like it might be 6 or 5-inch. Looks like it's going to be 5. Right, so we can fit the dual 5-inch guns, which is not bad, actually. That's a decent bit of firepower. Yeah, you can see the weight of the shells dramatically different. But it should be quite handy nonetheless. Now, if we take a look, case-made guns, we do have access to 6 inches. We are over our cost here at the moment. So it's one of those of, is it worth it? they're not really positioned terribly well. It looks like these secondary guns would really be doing a good job of this. They'd be nice to have, don't get me wrong. In which case I might go for like smaller caliber ones, if anything. Looks like we're only going to have one battleship here. Let's see then. Armor quality is good there. It's a decent amount of armor there. Deck's very well protected. It's a fairly well protected ship, actually. We're not bad on the weight, it's just the actual cost. I could reduce the amount of bulkheads that we do have, but even then that doesn't make a huge difference. I could reduce our speed, but again that doesn't make a terrible amount of difference. We could try to save some cost by potentially removing some of the towers. Or the thing is, we might have to say this is this. This is it. This is me. We'll see what we can do here. I could go with a reduced amount of shells, but I don't think that makes much of a difference. Heavy shells would be nice. You can see that does help, well, doesn't help us with the weight there. And let's see. Hull weight. It's not the weight, though, that's the issue. It's the cost, of course. It might be that we reduce the amount of armor. It might be doable. Might be feasible. Or, of course, it could be that we have to make some sacrifices somewhere. Which is going to be a little bit harder said than done. It might be that potentially we go for... Let's see. I think what I'll do then is I'll remove the rear tower. Might have to go for like a cheaper tower, really. It's not a terribly large difference in cost there. Probably not worthwhile. I think what we might do then is we might reduce the caliber of the main armament, perhaps to 10-inch guns. I think the thing is we'd be aiming at using... well... I think we'd be looking at just using the high explosive rounds, really. There we go. So, still places us off. That offset's rather irritating. I wonder how I can... I mean, obviously, let's see, I could probably place the tower here. Yeah, move it a little bit further back. I don't think the front tower can be messed with too terribly much. Removing a funnel there. Looks okay. Can I get away with another one? Not worthwhile to do so. It's going to be a tough one here to figure out how we can do that. I could reduce the actual tonnage of a ship. It does mean that we lose some of these. Well, we're only losing 2 5-inch guns, so it's probably not a bad thing to consider. Yeah, you can see that doesn't really negatively affect us all that much. I could go to 15,000 tons, and really all we've lost there is a pair of dual 5s, which, don't get me wrong, that is like something I'd rather have kept. But it's not all that bad. I think what we could potentially do then is it might be worthwhile to go for the torpedo launchers. Oh, they are expensive. They certainly are. Let's see. Can't find the goddamn thing now. Damn it. Can I fit the single 6-inch? Oh, I could fit the single 6 inches, actually. I think that might be worthwhile, actually. Can I fit a single 7? No, so it looks like a single 6 is the largest that we can have. If I compare that in terms of pricing... Oh, these things are significantly cheaper though, aren't they? That is something to really take into consideration there. I think we'll stick with the jewels. It's one of those, isn't it, really? In terms of the cost effectiveness here. It might be that we just put the additional money into something else, really. Heavy shells. Yeah, weight's not the problem here. That's the thing, weight isn't the problem. It's just the cost. So you can see why having the actual money there is really quite good. We're not looking too terribly bad here. I might be able to place this into just other things, really. Not the barbell. It looks like we might be able to just place it into additional armor, perhaps. The ship's fairly well armored. I could probably increase it a little bit more, though. Not tremendously so. Yeah, most definitely. Looks like a little bit of additional conning tower armor. And I'm not getting there when I say just a little. The turrets are very well armored. Maybe a little bit of additional armor on top of the turrets there. Probably not a terrible thing there. So 2.9 inches of armor there. I could drop it on the secondaries just a little bit. And I could probably drop a little bit of the deck armor. Okay, that actually does dramatically impact on price in here. That's something to know. Let's see, if I was to up that. No, just not really worthwhile. How short can I go then? Well, how small can I go here? So say, point at which it doesn't really matter that terribly much. Right. Allows more armor. 14,000 tons. This is something to bear in mind, really, isn't it? Really trying to figure out the fine tunage here. See that the engines are well, one of the most expensive things here. And, well, actually, you know what? We'll go with the basic steam. So that's not, this is it, it's not really much of an issue. So what we might be able to do here, then, increase the weight once again. Right. And let's see, we might. Okay, there we go. We can go with the increased firepower there. I might go for the single 6-inch guns then, perhaps. Those being the largest that we can actually fit on the side here in these positions. Now, just take me over on that last bit there. But I reckon I could probably reduce it some other way. I mean, semi-oil is very good. I might just go for the funnel capacity. Something to bear in mind, isn't it? Yeah, reduces us down there. 2.1. It's not bad, really. It might be worthwhile just to have an increase in firepower there. And this is it. Weight's not really the issue. Let's see. Tiny amount of extra there. Yeah, really isn't that much we can do. Maybe a little bit more belt armor, perhaps. And, starboard weight. Why is that? Just the aft. There's not a tremendous amount I can do about that, really. And maintaining something that we have here. I might go for that. It's probably not the best thing we could have ever made. Yeah, weight's not the problem. I could actually probably get a little bit more speed out of this, actually. How much does it cost to increase the speed? 19 knots. Okay, that's not too bad there. 19 knots. It's a little bit slower than what the American standards would have been. But it's not too bad. We'll give it a go and see how it turns out there. I don't imagine she's going to do that well. But it seems like you're either given the opportunity to build a battleship, in which case you might have had to... It might have been wiser to choose the gun technology. But we'll see how we do. 1 BB versus 1 BB. 2 CLs versus 2 CLs. Okay. So what I'm going to do here then is pause just for the moment. So the California is leading the Indianapolis and the boys. Righto. So they do have a smoke screen. Looks like they've laid down the smoke screen there already. Now what we're looking at here. Now she does have a heavier armament than we do. She does have another 2 barrels that she can bring to bear there. Of the Chinese Navy actually, very interesting. She doesn't have much in the way of a secondary armament. So it could be potentially that we These bad boys are sporting the 4-inch guns there. When do our secondaries kick in? Which range? 6.1 kilometers. So they have a range of 9.2, so that's the 6-inch. We might be able to make up for the lack of main armament then with these secondaries. So what I'm going to do here then is we'll focus on the high explosive. Now these guys have a range of 5.7, so they are just outside of range. So it might be that we actually do look towards... Let's see. Bring ourselves just slightly closer. Though... I imagine we'll close naturally over time. There we go, forward rudder. So we'll see how we go there. Right. Daytime, cloudy, wind. We'll see how we get on. One thing that always impresses me about this game is just the beauty of it, really. So that opening salvo there. We're of course going to be firing high explosive here. I love the noise it makes there. But let's see then. These secondaries. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a good chance of hitting here, so what we might do then is slightly turn the ship. Right, where are they going? AI control. Still getting used to how to actually use these guys. Right, attach to the BB. There we go. Not great to take damage so early. Right, some ships in the division are unable to reach that speed. Okay, that's fair. What I'm going to do then is have the Indianapolis lay down a smoke screen. We do need to try and vive position here. But you can see the 6-inch secondary guns are opening up. That might make a big difference overall. There we go. Bloody fires are still burning there, which is less than great. Yeah, you can see the secondaries are open though. That's fairly rapid fire for them. They could be pivotal, really. Just that little bit of additional weight of fire could make all the difference there. That's what I'm thinking, really. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. I don't think we've landed a shot as of yet. The issue is, of course, this guy is going to be packing out the airways, I suppose you could say, with these larger caliber shells. It really does come down to accuracy here as well. That fire really is not going out anytime soon. That was a really good shot by him. Hopefully, the fires will be just as dangerous once we begin to cause them on his own ship. His accuracy is pretty good. Right, okay. I think the California is the lead here. I'm still getting used to this new system. How is that fire still raging? That is unbelievable. The issue is it is causing some issues. It might make a big impact over the course. It looks like we finally have extinguished the flame. Oh, yeah, we finally extinguished the flame there. We should be fairly survivable. Our armor's pretty good. Just need some of these shells to actually hit. I love that bow in the smoke there. That one's looking reasonable. Oh, there we go, finally. Though no real effect. You can see that shell actually bounced off there. Right. Looks like the cruisers are now opening fire. I think they're trying to sort out their formation here, but it's just... it's not going so very well. It's one of these things I need to get used to, really. Right, I'll tell you what. Detach. Detach. Right, so that's now the flagship. Let's see. Torpedo is within 3 kilometers. What I'm going to do then is have her come about, really. I do not want the cruisers to engage. I want them to really regain their positioning. Now, what's affecting our accuracy here? Target, fast speed, shooting through smoke, 2-barrel technology, hull stability and tower, cloudy weather. Okay, so she's spotting 11-inch guns there. So we're not terribly outgunned. Yeah, she just has the 4-inch guns there. So not terribly outgunned. Her armor does look to be better than ours, though the quality isn't as good, so that could make a difference there. I suspect it probably will. Ideally, the hits that we do land will be more telling. Right, the enemy cruiser is still unsighted here. I mean, we are still pumping up at smoke. Looks like it lasts for some considerable length of time there. Okay, now the cruisers are starting to sort themselves out again. That's good. Had to reduce the speed there to allow the other ones to catch up. Yeah, we are taking fire from the cruiser, but at least we do have the benefit of the smoke. He does not have the benefit of the smoke right now. Oh, there we go. Damage main gun, and now we finally launch a fire. Well, sorry, finally start a fire. That's good news. That's what I want to see there. Right, I can see her behind. Right, what I can start to do now is increase the speed. So we're making 16 knots here. Could increase that. Stick to 16 knots. Have you make 18 knots. In fact, $17 knots if you can make it. I will have them. Yeah, they're not within torpedo range as of yet, but soon. The fire's still going though, which is good news. Have them make a little bit more speed there, try and separate them a little bit. There we go. Okay, some of these shots are starting to look better now. Obviously, the range is decreasing. So these guys are similar. I'm hoping that our quality will work out. Well, win out here. And we do have that 100%. They have 80. The light cruisers have 100 as well. I imagine the light cruisers for the opposing team there, for the opposing fleet, flotilla, task force, whatever you want to call it, are at 80% as well. See that speed difference start to make itself felt now. Flooding. That was a fairly big hit there. Surprising. Right, we're going to look towards trying to make it cross a T. I think that'd be the correct terminology there. I definitely do need to do a lot more in the way of naval reading, really. I've always been one of those guys. I've never been one of those guys who really read on the battle so much. So I've never been as familiar with the terminology. Right, penetrations. Alright, I see. That's good then, so at least we now have a measure of how effective the armor is. Partial penetration. Interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to make use of those torpedoes. I don't... yeah, we are just within torpedo range now. You can see that we do have torpedoes out in the water. That's very good news there. I mean, this is it really. We're going to get the torpedoes out into the waters there, just because then you really do have the opportunity to potentially make use of them. If anything, even if they do miss, or if they're close and it does force the enemy to turn about, then that's always a good thing. What I might want to do here then is look to just slightly angle the ship here. I don't think I've got this. Have I got the speed? Right. So she does have speed on her. It's only by half a knot. Damn, we're on fire. That's less than great. Yeah, maybe we should put maybe more into armor protection, but it's a very hard thing to balance. You can see that torpedo advert. Barely noticeable, but definitely is there. What I might do then is pop smoke. I should try and decrease the distance. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, we'll increase to 18 knots then. Oh, we only make... Oh, no, we do make 19 knots. Theoretically. Yeah, accuracy is one of those things that always seems to be difficult. What I'm going to do then is reduce their speed down to 18 knots, and ideally then this will give the California the opportunity to, well, about 17 knots. Ideally give her the opportunity to catch up behind the smoke screen. Right, she has been forced to turn about. We are causing some small damage. Using high explosives, so I do be able to start some fires. Trying to figure out where these torpedoes are again. Oh, there's one. Yeah, not gonna land home. Oh, there we go. Damage the main gun and once again a fire. In fact, what I'll do then is allow them make the choice. Right, what I'm going to do then is slow here. Allow the California to catch up. Yeah, she's burning. We've taken a fair bit of damage, actually. Oh, there's a torpedo. That's a shame. Not too far off. It should have made a more aggressive maneuver. Then we might have even been able to hit on the other side. At least she's only been able to make, well, looks like she can't bring these side guns to bear. Well, she can actually, against the cruisers, but not so much against the battleships. Battleship. Good news is we can still make 19 knots. Ah, there we go. Aggressive. Automatic. Right, so now she's turning about once again. Ideally, I can get some torpedoes out. The good news is the Mingadari, I don't know how you pronounce that. Her support is somewhat out of place, while ours is actually fairly well positioned here. Whoops, apologies about that, I accidentally clicked off. Right. Yeah, we've taken a considerable amount of damage there. Much more than I would have honestly expected, to be honest. I don't think we've had much in the way of luck. We do have the flagship bonus over here, which is nice. We'll go with aggressive, just fire at will, basically. As soon as able, really. Right, I do have a torpedo out over here. That could be potentially on target. They are turning, so I don't think so. I do find it interesting. It seems like the AI generally does have an advantage when it comes to accuracy. I'm not entirely sure how effective secondary guns are. They don't feel to have that much in the way of, well, effectiveness. There's another torpedo there. It might be that we change tactic here and concentrate against the light cruisers. Ah, we did just light fire mode, which is very nice. Let's see. 60 knots. It's going to be a little while before we can use the smoke again. Yeah, if we can try and stay within the flagship bonus area, that could be quite good. Yeah, hopefully this is where the 6-inch guns will definitely be felt more dramatically. She's turned about once again. Just need a few good hits here. Just a few good hits and should be out of action. Smoke screen would be welcome once again. Torpedo out there. Oh, God, I thought something had blown up then. Right. Just drop that to slow. I want to narrow the distance as we're gonna, well, between them, and then we'll turn. I've got to be mindful of speed as well, actually. Especially with torpedoes. You see some of them and you think they look promising, and then just no. Okay, put that speed up. We do see torpedoes coming in. Just got to be mindful of them. Okay, fire upon the other light cruiser. Oh, God, that would have been a perfect opportunity to get some hits in. Ideally, with an approaching target, reducing the range, we should be in a better position. Right, I can turn about now. Reduce to half. That smoke will be welcome shortly. I just don't feel like we're actually hitting here. Which is surprising. Come on, look, be a lady tonight. 4.6%, yeah. Probably better targeting you once again, but we'll try. See how we can go on here. Looks like torpedo blew up over there, actually. That's not good. And another torpedo there. Just not having much in the way of success, are we? Tell you what, we'll turn around. Turn about, sorry. Yeah, the enemy's accuracy has been significantly better. I just don't know like how useful secondary guns are right now. They just don't seem to really hit all that often. It might be we're just not getting any reports of that. Let's see, average importance. Might be able to see a few more then. We'll soon have the smoke screen. Yeah, we've got it now. So what we'll do then is cross. But I'll be able to make use of that. Not an easy maneuver to perform here at top speed. Indianapolis is somewhat of a sitting target. We have a lesser caliber. And we have lesser armor. Which doesn't help us. Right, I'll pop that smoke screen. What the? Oh, fudge. Okay, so Indianapolis just took a huge hit from a torpedo there. And she goes down. Yeah, that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? That's incredible. It would be nice if there was warning of torpedoes. I mean, I can understand why there isn't. It is a little bit annoying, though. I do not think we're going to win this one. I don't know, maybe the secondaries just don't feel useful enough to justify their price and weight. So I could have dropped the secondaries and just gone for increased amounts of armor. But it's all lessons to be learned. I suppose she did take a hit there for the California. I suppose that's the way the cookie crumbles. That was unfortunate though, that was bloody perfectly. There she goes down. That was a very small amount of time there to sink. That was some pretty catastrophic damage. Right. I think what we'll do then is we'll speed things up a little bit, but I'll have the light cruiser attached to the division. There you go, speed this up. Yeah, accuracy seems to be the hardest thing to achieve, which is understandable. It might have been that we went for a larger caliber, but then we wouldn't have been able to have a unity of caliber, which is interesting. We probably might have done better actually by going for the armoured cruisers, which, if you're watching this Tortuga, then I admit you were right on that one. Oh, then again, if you're going for the battleship, it might have been a better idea to go for the actual firepower. I think after this battle, we'll go ahead and check out what that actually looks like. That would be good to see. Okay, damage to the main gun there. Just not been able to inflict that much in the way of damage. The armor quality is all well and good, but I wonder if it would have been superior. Hard to say. Hard to say. I just don't seem to be able to land the hits that we need. Not gonna give up yet. we go, that's another fire. It could be just the, yeah, it could have been that the dual fire sort of had that weight of fire. That would have been potentially more valuable. I don't know. I'd placed a greater deal of hope on the actual secondary 6 inches. And we're going to start to cause some damage now. Maybe over the length of a protracted, protracted battle we might win out, ultimately. Though it's looking pretty difficult to say that. Destroyed secondary, yeah. I think it would have been better off dropping the 6s and just going for the increased armor, really. Well, this is all about learning valuable lessons. I wonder if we would even been able to have the, could I have mounted secondary guns? I don't think this hull type, I think sometimes, if you had more in the way of choice of hull types or hull designs, you probably could have, like, could probably get away with more effective designs. I think the AI does benefit from having more hull types to choose from, as it's a randomly generated ship, actually. Why is that, still? Well, there we go. Finally, we, actually caused a bit of damage there. Looks like it was maneuvering, but that's something no can work with. It's just a shame that the California is so damaged. Yep, there we go. Now it's time to get some hits in. Alright, have you dropped a smoke screen? Interesting, I wonder then, do you actually benefit from having the smoke screen by having a light cruiser by you? It's like the BB can't do that, at least I don't think. But yeah, we are seeing the smoke there. Yeah, that flooding there is pretty rough. We've taken a lot of damage, like a surprisingly large amount of damage. The enemy's, just accuracy's just been really on the ball. Yeah, okay. I think we'll admit defeat there. Oh dear. I think we'll admit defeat. So yeah, we'll go back in and we'll take a look at this. It is interesting. Battlecruiser, heavy cruiser, sorry, battleship, heavy cruiser. We'll see then with the actual heavy guns. I reckon with the actual firepower upgrade, you probably should be able to manage this as a battleship. Yeah, it's like, this kind of looks like an almost better layout in some way, shape, or form, really. So let's see, what do we have access to now? Still Mark II guns. I just wonder then, are they more accurate? What do I really gain from that? So we do have access to superior tech, it seems. Yeah, electro-hydro. That is something to bear in mind there. I wonder then. If I was to go here then, we'll have a go with the armoured cruisers, I reckon. Gonna be a bit longer video. Let's see, how does this ship change? Does it change at the same spot? It does have a... Yeah, see, this lengthens more so than the battleship hull, which only lengthens once, while this has a little bit more in the way of lengthening. Yeah, we'd have to keep the displacement very low, actually, to be able to build a second heavy cruiser. That might be what is required, though. So we'll take a look and we'll figure this one out. We could have a very large heavy cruiser. Alright. Cost is something to bear in mind, man. Yeah, you can see just how quickly. If I reduce then the speed 18 knots, then short range, standard. Oops. Yeah, you really don't. You're not really giving much in the way of funds here, are you? We'll see what we can do. Air intake. Triple funnel. What's the weight there? 650. 520. Yeah, not so very efficient there. Right, so I'd put me at 95. Does make me wonder, is it worthwhile having a third one? I'll stick with the 2 for the time being. We'll see how that looks. So the max I can mount here is 11s. So don't get me wrong, I mean, that's like fairly hefty firepower for a cruiser. It almost makes me wonder, do we go for a very large, heavy cruiser? I mean, this is it. We are sacrificing a lot for this. It's a tough one. It is indeed a toughie. I might go for the 8-inch guns, to be honest, like most heavy cruisers. Or we could go for 10-inch, maybe. We'll just have to look to reduce the distance, really, wouldn't we? To make these guns more effective. Reload time. What's the difference here, then? So we'd lose that range there. It's 15,000 meters. We'll try it with the 8s, maybe. See how that turns out. I'll tell you what, we'll see what we can do here. So I can only build one heavy cruiser like this. It's not going to do well, I know about that, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting experiment nonetheless. Shame I can't fit another one there. It was like only casemates. I'll tell you what we'll do then. I think we just have to go for the more funds option. It's really tight. It really is tight. It could go for that one, which we might be able to manage. It does give you that, it does save you that weight. It's just you need that money there, really. Well, let's see. We'll give it a quick go. Right, armored cruiser. How small can we go here? 13,000 tons would build 3 heavy cruisers. We'll try. We'll see how many heavy cruisers we can actually get in there. It might be we just go for sheer volume. Who knows? That might be potentially the formula that wins out. I mean, weight's not so much an issue there, really. But honestly, this does increase the actual strength of the armor, so it's certainly worth it. Could go for fair speed as well. We'll see what we can do. It could be an interesting way to approach this, actually. Having the range fighters is always a good thing. Alright, I see. Aiming speed. Long range accuracy. We'll go for that one then. That might be something that we should probably pay a little bit more attention to. Heavy shells. Reload. Enhanced, not particularly worth it, I suppose. We'll see what we can manage. It's a nice looking ship anyway. Right, so we'll try for 8-inch mains perhaps. I might have to go for just... I wonder how this would actually potentially affect accuracy, but I don't imagine that much. That's something to bear in mind. See, I've not seen accuracy changing really anyway. Okay. Let's get the funnels on. I think just cheap now. Try and build as many as we can, really. So that takes us to 2 heavy cruisers, which does make a difference there. I think what we'll do then is... Yeah, wow. That does make a pretty big difference there. Wow. The, the price, it really is, like... right on the line. I suppose try and increase the armor as much as we can. Which is going to be difficult, actually. I might just go for a lesser strength of armor. If it means I can actually have more of it. Well, lesser quality armor. I mean, this means that we can have almost like a 10-inch belt. Which, yeah, I mean, yeah, there we go. Not far off. We'll go for 9.5. I mean, 9.5's not bad, you know what I mean? That was almost like the Battleship armor that we had. I think what we'll do then is potentially we'll go down to 9 inches belt. Look to just up armor elsewhere, really. Cutting towers would be nice up armor. Can't get away with too much there. Yeah, definitely not too much. Alright, what I'll do is take some armor off the conning tower. Okay. free and... Let's get rid of that. Okay, we might give that a go. I mean, 21 knots ain't bad, and we'd have a good few of them. I could maybe reposition the guns, but everything's balanced here, and it looks fairly okay. I mean, maybe we'll go for some torpedo launchers, to be honest. I think just even one torpedo could make a big difference, really, just because it gives us that additional firepower that we wouldn't otherwise have, really. So I think what we'll do is I think we'll go for that. Let's see. The iron plates. Jesus. Oh dear. No benefit there to the hull strength. It's quite amusing here, actually. And I could go for lesser bulkheads. Like, a few bulkheads we could probably manage, but even then, actually, it's not. He's saving 100 grand there. Maybe 20 knots does help us out considerably. Whoops. Would be nice. Yeah, it's just on a knife edge, isn't it, really? Okay, we'll try that then. We'll see how that goes. It's gonna be kind of interesting. Oh, that does mean I actually do have a torpedo. Did I actually get the torpedo? I think I got the torpedo. I did. Nice. I mean, maybe we'll drop a funnel. 72% there. Yeah, it's radically expensive. I could afford a barbette. Could afford level 2 barbette. That's good. Reinforced bulkheads could be potentially worth it. How much do I actually need per cruiser? I could reduce the amount of armor, but is it worth it? I could reduce it to an inch. So you buy an inch, and it does mean that we'd have reinforced bulkheads. I guess we'll try that. So I think we'll go with that. So we're going to have 3 heavy cruisers and 2 light cruisers. So really, we do have a fair way of fire then. We'll have to see how that turns out. Okay. Yeah, screen. I mean, who knows, really? We do make fairly decent speed. I mean, that's like a fair amount of broadside. We do have our secondaries as well. Let's see. I think we'll launch the smoke screen. I think we just need to try and reduce the range to a degree. That ain't bad, you know. I mean, that's a fair few shells there. See, we've already got a fire going. It might just be the way a fire just makes all the difference in the world here. I've had to... I was kind of hoping that it'd spread and these ships would use the smoke as well, but I guess not. It looks like each ship can fire its main armaments. That's really quite good. Spreads out a little bit kind of crazy. We have decent armor. In like 8 inches isn't like incredible, but that's not bad, you know. I like the look of this. This is pretty very nice looking screen. I think what we need to do is just reduce the actual range here. What I'll do is I'll have the light cruisers drop back, and then I'm going to have them try and make a sprint towards the battleship itself. Or the semi-dreadnought. Right. She's reducing the amount of firepower she can bring to bear. Because she's not as well armed. No, she's actually better armed. I wonder if the AI does respond to like how much you can bring to bear. But I mean, this is it. We look towards using the torpedoes aggressively, and this is an option that we now have that we didn't previously have. Looks like the secondary guns are now opening up. But I mean, this is 3 separate torpedoes that will be coming in there. Obviously, once we get the light cruisers into action, I'm going to have them turn and, I think, head this way. Trying to split the attention. At least cross the T there. There we go. At least we have a decent way to fire. When it hits, that is. Okay, flank speed, get moving. Just going to try and turn a little bit just so we can present a little bit more in the way of firepower. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Never mind. Destroyed main tower. That's destroyed case main. Yeah, that's the irritating thing. It's like that one hit there. Which, yeah, fair enough. Might have been that we actually went for 2 heavy cruisers that were qualitatively better, but I don't know, having 3 is not bad. We'll see how things work out. Their job's basically to go in there and torpedo. Wow. That was a destination. That's impressive. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys decide how we approach this one. I'm just impressed there. Wind conditions keep 100% of sea air. I suppose this is it as well, isn't it? The more we have, the more we have to keep alive there. But that was pretty interesting. Numbers don't matter. What's this one? Take a look at this one. What's the difference? Modern battle. Wow. Do you have even bloody larger? Christ. More funds. We'll take a quick look at this one. We're not going to play it, but we'll take a look at it. Jeez, look at the funds there. Receive extra money to buy for your ship the strongest equipment possible or construct more than one battleship. Jesus. That's insane. We'll take a look at the boost technology. For numbers don't matter. And when you basically find the equivalent of a Death Star broadside, I suppose it really doesn't matter. I'd be kind of interested if there was later to add the option for maybe like, I mean obviously it's not in this time frame, but it'd be interesting to see like a sort of World War II game. I can imagine this is probably where this game will be headed in the near future really. As to whether they'd include aircraft. Oof, that's an interesting one. Right, Dreadnought. Wider. Battle Cruiser. Hull form's good. Yeah, resistance is just better, man. Let's take a look at the largest goddamn thing we can design. So 45,000 tons on the battle cruiser. Jesus, you'll build 16 battleships. 39 there. 12 there. Yeah, we don't have the largest hull. I think in the modern battleship you can actually have an even larger one. That's something to bear in mind though. Ooh, the Austrian Navy. We'll see what we have. The marine diesel engine. I'm looking forward to when we can actually see the other elements of this game brought to fruition. Obviously, like when we get into the campaign, that'll be interesting. Funnel weight. Okay, so it reduces the weight to the funnels, but yeah, I don't think that's really much a tremendous consideration for us, really. I think we want the capacity more than anything. There we go, man. It's quite good. Crump. Okay. Radar. And Generation 1 and Generation 2. Tower spot is very good there. Radio. Communication range, obviously a very good thing there. But is it really necessary? Looks like we already have radio. It's interesting to see all the different ones here. Yeah, so we have stereoscopic. Aiming speed, long range. We'll go for the accuracy. It's one of those, if you can actually hit the enemy, that's always a good start. Hull weight. Damage. I mean, damage is obviously what we want there. Shell penetration. More penetration there with the TNT. It might be that we look for the penetration, really. So go for TNT. It's a dynamite. Let's take a look then. Oh, we have some really interesting towers here. Wow. Yeah, look at the size of that goddamn monster. That is tremendous. That's absolutely incredible. It looks like it comes with a barbette as well. That's amazing. Yeah, these come with barbettes. That's awesome. I really like that. Such a large thing. Mega funnel. Oh, it's not as mega as I was expecting. Sideways mounted, but hey, it works. Yeah, it's going to be 18 inches. Fuck me, look at the size of that page. Monstrously large. Was it HMS, was it Courageous who had the single 18-inch guns? What's the largest we can mount on here then? Looks like it might be about 14-inch. Looks like 13-inch. Do you know what ain't bad? That ain't bad is like a backup armament there. Interestingly, you can have like tiles like that have that function. So that what it means that we have potentially a large armament. Definitely something to take into consideration. There we go. Destroy full fleet. 120 million there. 145 million. Yeah, it looks like this is just basically... let's see. Boost technology. We'll boost funds then. Gives us another 100 million there. See how this one looks. And just compare it just to what we saw just beforehand there. Yeah, modern Battleship. Yeah, 66 to 92,000 tons. Just monstrous, isn't it? I mean, this is it, isn't it? Like, having the different hulls. I'm looking forward to seeing how that is going to really play out in the campaign, but just being able to like, have access to those. You can see this is basically... It definitely is based upon the Yamato. Who needs their... I want to see forward. Not I! Oh dear. The Austrian Yamato. Only have a 16-inch, but I don't think you need that much more than that. But you can see just like 16-inch looks almost like tiny on this size of ship. There we go. So like I said, big thank you here, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this. And if you have enjoyed this, please do consider showing your support down in the comment section. So do let me know how you think we can improve your ships. And yeah, are secondaries useful? Who knows? I kind of want to design a ship like this where you have like the 4 triples there. It reminds me of the Russian design very much, or potentially like a French. But it has a very Russian feel there. Looks like a very Russian battleship. So yes. If you guys are new to the channel, please do subscribe down below and leave a like there. If you'd like to support myself as a content creator, you can do this by becoming a patron of mine. It really does help me out considerably. And of course, I do have PayPal if you feel so inclined to be as generous as you are. But please do hit that subscribe button and share the video. Thank you very much, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye for now, ladies and gents.